friends, it is time for another story time, and today we are talking about the few times that I have tried to escape hospitals. Yeah, there's more than one. Let's get started. So this story should start off by me saying, I don't like doctors. I don't like hospitals. I'm not fond of them. But then again, I feel like a lot of people aren't, so I'm not too weird about that. Like, I'll still go if there's something wrong with me. I just don't like to go. Like, I'll put it off for a long time. Like, with the situation that I was dealing with recently, I was dealing with it for like 3.5 months before someone was finally like, we're taking you to the doctor. This is happening. Because this can't keep happening. It needs to stop.
Stop it or I'll bury you alive in a box.
But yeah, I don't like doctors. So, this has always been a thing since I was young. For example, I was probably about 4 or 5 at the time. The little toddler era Johnny, pictured as a, smaller me, less beard. And we went for a checkup, as one does. And one of my least favorite things about doctors has always been the needles. I've gotten a lot better with needles as I got older, but I was never really big on needles growing up. So, we did the physical and everything like that. Everything went well. But then they would send you to another waiting room where you would be waiting for your blood work to be done. So, you would go and then you'd have to wait for them to call you in to get your needle. I knew this already. 4 or 5 Johnny was smart, you know what I mean? Like, I knew. I was like, ooh, this is the blood area. I don't want to be here. So, I'm sitting there with my father. I'm kicking my little legs, trying to act like, oh, little old me, I'm not gonna do anything. Don't mind me. I'm just cute, innocent 4 or 5-year-old Johnny. What's the worst that can happen? So, they call people one by one, like, Paul, because for some reason, people gotta hear their name 6 or 7 times in a waiting room before they're like, oh, that's me.
I was the turkey all along!
And get up, you know what I mean? Amanda. One by one, I'm hearing people's names like 12 times, 13 times. You know how it goes in a waiting room. And so I'm just patiently waiting. I was playing with an action figure at the time. I don't remember what I was playing with, but I'm listening. I'm observant. Little Johnny could do like 19 things at once and still tell you what was going on around him. Okay, he was nosy. I know it. And so I'm just there, and then I hear the didn't even get Johnny out, didn't even get my full name out, just John. And I was out. My father says all he saw was a blur pass him. I was sitting here, the door is over there. I jumped out of my seat and out that door. 4 or 5-year-old Johnny booked it real hard. And so my father had a few seconds to have to process what the hell just happened and realize, oh, my child is gone. He just tried to escape. So my dad had to get up and run after me and chase me the entire time. And can I just say, the 90s were a very different time because I didn't look like my father. I'm gonna just throw that out there for this next part of the story because I'm booking it, I'm running through the halls trying to get out of this doctor's office, and apparently my dad's chasing me down the hall. He doesn't see me, but he's asking people like, did you see a big-headed kid run by here? Where did he go? And people just, they're like, that way? And he's like, thank you, and runs. And it happened a few times, like, which way did he go? And people like, he went down that way. No one questioned it. We didn't look alike. I didn't look like him as a child. I still don't really look like my father, but I didn't look like him at that time. Like, how did people think back then? Like, oh yeah, that's definitely his father or his uncle or something. Like, nowadays people will be concerned, like, whoa, why are you chasing him? Why are you chasing this child? Back then they're like, oh yeah, he's over there. You want me to go help you catch him? I got a net. The 90s were wild, okay? Like, I don't get it. I don't see how people saw young me being chased by my father and being like, oh yeah, this seems okay. So I'm running, I literally get out of the hospital and I turn around and I like start running down the block. And my father is still chasing me the entire time, not knowing where I am, still asking people and people still helping him for whatever reason. And so I get to the end of the block. Again, this is 4 or 5-year-old Johnny. And 4 or 5-year-old Johnny has it in his head to always remember, you don't cross the street unless you're holding an adult's hand. So, I'm like, this is fine. I'm gonna just run up the block this way. I don't have to cross the street. If I keep running up the block and turning, I'll eventually get away from the hospital. Not really thinking that blocks are square or odd shapes, but they always close. You always just get back to where you started, you know what I mean? So I turn the corner, I start running up the block again, full speed. People just seeing a little blur running past them like Sonic between their legs and shit. And Dad's still chasing me. He finally spots me and he's like running full force, you know what I mean? And so I finally get to the end of the second block and I'm just like, which way do I go? Because if I remember correctly, there was a long, like the street, like the building cut off at the street, so I couldn't really turn and not be in the street. So I was like, I'm trapped. I have to go back that way. And I'm like debating like, what should I do? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna get away? By the time my father catches me, scoops me up, and just starts walking back to the hospital. I don't know what he was thinking at the time. I constantly forget to ask him, like, was he upset? Was he too busy, like, thinking this was hilarious? Like, what happened? What was going on in his mind at that moment? I'm gonna have to go ask him after this. It's 4:30 in the morning, so he's definitely not awake right now, but I'll definitely ask him in the morning or in the afternoon when I wake up. That was the first time I tried to escape the hospital. The first time. Second time, let's fast forward. Probably 6 or 7 years. 11-year-old Johnny, on his birthday of all days, he was betrayed. I had a full year that I got tonsillitis / strep throat about, I think it was 36 times? I forget the number, but it's super high and very dangerous. And so at the end of the year, they didn't want me to miss school, so they decided, oh yeah, we're gonna have him get his surgery at the end of the year. And the doctors are like, well, the only day we have available is this day and this day. And it was like, one day was my birthday and the other day was like a week or two before that, and they were like, no, that's finals, you know. Even though he's like in the 4th grade, 5th grade, somewhere around there, that's super important, you know. So it's gonna have to be his birthday. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
And so my birthday comes. I get woken up super early. I have to be at the hospital like 5 in the morning because they're like, oh yeah, you need to be here at 5 something in the morning for your surgery because I'm getting tonsillectomy and adenoidectomy. And so they're like, yeah, you need to be here early. So because you can't eat before then, ladies, you can eat like 9 o'clock at night the night before. And so we try to do it early in the morning the next day so you're not going the full day being hungry. I want the full day hungry. Yeah, I got to the hospital at like 5 in the morning. However, other people there obviously to get their surgeries done too, or doctors just doing whatever the hell they want to do, or I don't know what was going on fully. All I know is 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you know, it just keeps going by, and I'm just there in the waiting room trying to bide my time. 2 o'clock comes by, still nothing. 3 o'clock, still nothing. It was around 4:30 when they finally decided to call me in for my surgery. 4:30, that's the full day. Nowadays, I eat 1 meal a day, even though I know I don't look it. So I'm used to going that long period of time and not eating. Back then, I was used to 2 or 3 square meals a day. I was not used to not eating, okay? So I'm there, hungry, hangry, scared because I'm getting surgery and I'm in a hospital. Did I mention that I was in a hospital gown this entire time? Since 5 in the morning, you know, my little butt cheeks flapping in the wind. Yeah, I was in a hospital gown that entire time. So around 4:30, they're finally like, Johnny, we're ready for you. And so my parents walk with me to the operating room. The doctors are leading the way, and they all kind of like walk ahead of me. I'm walking slow, and so they turn down a hallway, right? And I'm like, this is my chance. This is my moment. They turned the corner, and I started booking it straight because I remembered when we came in, the elevators were that way. So I was running for the elevator. The doctor turned back around the corner, and I swear it was like a horror movie scene. You know, one of those like, oh, the leader of the zombies are like telling the other zombies to go, just like, oh, Johnny. But he's like, get him! And so I'm running for the elevator, and I don't see any stairs, so I have to take the elevator, and I'm like pressing the button really fast. I'm come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And so my father catches me again, and they literally all grab me by the arm and start walking me to the operating room. I'm like, the entire time, like, please don't make me do this. Please don't make me do this. I'll behave. Just don't make me do this, please. I'm like, you need this done for your health. You don't understand. You getting it this many times is not healthy. And I'm like, I don't want it. So I tried to escape the hospital again. I failed again, thanks to my father. Again. Now I think I'm like, it's a bit of an irrational fear. Do I still hate doctors? I don't hate doctors, I just don't like doctors, you know what I mean? If I get a choice, I'll try my hardest not to go to the hospital or the doctors. Again, it's nothing personal. I'm sure there's lovely doctors. I have a friend that's a doctor, and here I am doing this. But, I just don't trust hospitals for whatever reason it may be. Obviously, I trust medicine and stuff like that, but I'm always a bit nervous going to the hospital. That's my point, and I try to escape. I'll leave it for another time. I'll leave the story for another time, but I do have stories about me waking up in the middle of surgeries. That's another story for another day. But yes, thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it because I really enjoyed telling it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and bing bong the ding dong down below to be alerted to whenever I make a new video. And until next time, bye! I really wish I could run that fast again.